And once again, as always, we are here every week, or we try to be here every week. Half Hour Henshin. This is our episode 102. As always, I am one of your hosts, Sleepy Witch, joined by.
DJ Azure, the 2.5D here, TalkTuber.
And we are going to be
Oh
doing
man,
things in a slightly different order. It's the final
yeah,
episode of Gotchard, so you get to hear about that at the end.
yeah. It's like we don't get to do that like we did with not Geets. I don't know, no, yeah, no. Actually, no, yeah, yeah, technically not with Geets, but
Because I think we finished Dawn Brothers first anyway, and that was last
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Remember when Revice ended and Dawn Brothers Dawn Brothers showed the ending scene.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
Oh
Remember, I
man.
wasn't watching Dawn Brothers from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I eventually got to the scene in the in the show. Uh, One of the things that I do like about it, since it's ending and we're doing it last, that also helps because that like if we want to ramble a little bit more about it because it's the final episode, we don't have to worry about like shit. We only got so much time for the other.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, we have a lot of time to just, talk a lot of stuff because this week's Boom Boonger was a thinly veiled recap episode, and we love these.
It was fun. I
Mhm.
loved that we had Miss Shirabe just pull out the real ass Bundario toy that she just carries on her at all times. Apparently,
It was so cute. Like, her basically talking up all of the Boon Boongers, and like pretty much it basically was a recap, and that was the A plot. The A plot was the recap. And we had a B plot of showing off that, as they were describing, it's like, oh yeah, like a mirror works a bunch of jobs, Joe's a cop, and basically just describing every
Sakita's
single
just a
person.
bum.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that the
And
episode
it's
starts with him being like, "Hey, we got hungry. You got any leftover food?"
yup. It's so adorable. It's like I really like now that we're halfway through the season, which is also works out really well because I guess it was nice to have a softer episode to kind of like lead into. I think they're calling like this next part lap 3 because
Yep.
lap 2 was Cannonborg
Yep.
essentially.
So Lap 3 is gonna be
Um,
this new guy, and
Yep.
big
They
thing.
brought back the toilet monster, and Chashiro being so afraid of it was
Cha-
so
it's
funny.
so good. Chashiro's terrified of being genuine in front of Taya specifically.
Yeah. Like I was actually I was talking with someone that had finally just started Boon Boonger, and they loved the toilet episode because they're like saying like they said, oh, like it'd be really funny if they don't let up the fact that he was being cringe, and because at the end of that original episode he was basically like curled up like despairing over the fact that he was being cringe.
Right.
It
Also,
was so good.
big things that big things happening in the other like in the B plot where we're seeing the main things where it's like Ty is doing a no delivery for his like father figure guy.
Hmm.
And we get to see our favorite boys, the Sandseeders, having terrible dreams about getting one shot by the Boom Boongers.
I love the Sun Eaters so much.
I love that they all wake up, they're all having this dream. I love that fucking Yarukar gets flipped like a toast flying out of a toaster. That's how he wakes up. He just like
Yeah.
boop. They just like bounce him like a little Yahtzee toy.
Yeah. Oh man. Like it's like I want a life size Yarikar plush so badly, dude.
I honestly,
It's
I'm
so
gonna be
good.
honest. When it comes to this specific season, I think I want like if it came to like SH figure arts because I get those every once in a while. I want
Mm.
figures of the Sanseater.
Yeah.
uh, I would
Oh
love
my
to
god.
have just all three of them just like together. That'd be great. And then obviously the Yarikar plush would be A+. I love that we're
Yeah.
getting to see the backstory that they were like losers or something on their alien planet.
Hmm.
And Mad Rex is the one who like motivated them to keep trying. And I love that they started running around with his little, Bianyana Nana,
Hmm.
his dumb little dog. Saying, I love his dumb knee dog. Very funny. Uh, Also, this guy they got playing like the ISA director, who we know knows something but isn't telling us. Very
Hmm.
like good casting choice. He looks very stern. Like he fits very well like the role that he seems to be here for.
Yeah. Like yeah. He's actually he's like basically like questioning like all the time like saying yeah, but I mean they're impulsive, but that's gonna lead to their downfall and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, like
constantly, it's
they
like
want to keep because he's like, oh, they could have just let us handle everything. It's like, well, when they hear someone crying, they can't help but go.
yeah.
The toilet guy's new power is kind of funny. Just he like takes your, it's like the toilet roll, but he basically takes your spine out and you get unmotivated.
Yeah. It's It's
I
it's so
also
ridiculous.
I do also love again seeing the just saying of like Joe interviewing the dog, and then it turns out he was interviewing the dog's mom. He's just seriously looking at the dog, and then Boon Boonger roll call, and we get to see Mira fucking leave the Boon Boon away sticker and walk run off again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cool though because like they said, wait, Boon, like it's like it's they're not there's not even a secret identity. It's like saying, Boom Boom Duty's call, and then they basically just run off. Like it's so good how they just like literally just run off to do that stuff.
I also just think it's funny. Maybe the reason Mira has so many part-time jobs is because she keeps getting fired because she leaves the middle of a shift.
That could also easily be the
That could be.
case.
I mean, I'm sure if she's actually getting fired, they'll explain it. She might honestly just be picking up part time jobs. That's one of the things that I've always gotten, from watching stuff and from reading stuff, that like part time job, like employment, is a lot easier to like hop between in Japan, especially because they
Hmm.
have a lot of like employment centers where they're like, we just need a guy for like today. You want to come?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, also
Oh
loved seeing
man.
the ping pong team.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
practicing outside. Very cute. Uh,
And then we end with seeing Disrace, a snaky boy,
yep.
and Genba is not happy.
We
Oh man.
we get to see, okay, the big things is we get to see the dude who looks like Taya's dad show up to the delivery,
Mhm.
and then we see Disrace. So I'm assuming he can shapeshift or something. My assumption is that was
Possibly.
him because he came out with the delivered item. So he turned into Taya's father figure so that he could go in and just take the item.
Yeah.
Either that or Taya's father figure is evil and I just spoke too soon in that first fucking episode that he showed up, where I was like, it's just really nice seeing like a nice supportive father figure for our Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Uh
Oh man. Yeah.
but
We
yeah,
we
this
we
race,
will we will see what happens there.
very cool
But
suit.
yeah.
Very
So
cool
just
vibes.
just like how we went from Mad Max, I mean Mad Rex, to Cannonball Run, I mean Cannonborg, we are now seeing Death Race, I mean Disrace.
It's some good puns. I love that the little snake on his like shoulder is like a Tsuchinoko,
Mm-hmm.
because the big fat snake. I love he's got a good design. I do really like him. Man, I had seen people talking about this on Twitter before, and they were like, "Oh, Genba's got some sort of beef with him." I didn't realize because obviously I hadn't seen the thing. Genba's just straight up like on the attack, bro. He
Yeah,
switches
yeah,
the
he
axe to like the reverse grip. He's like going in for the kill.
yeah, immediately, like on sight, he
On
was not
sight,
happy.
leaps like 8 feet into the air to go for the kill, and it just ends like that. It's so funny always seeing the like. This was such a dramatic ending into the dun 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 dun.
And talking about that, as my friend that finally caught up, Sakito sweep,
Dude,
Sakito's
they were
bubble
just like
was
Sagito's in
covering the
charge this
entire
time. Yeah,
thing.
it was really funny.
Yeah, like it's like they keep like they've been like having a thread on Twitter where they've been kind of just like like live tweeting them watching it and like saying free Sakito from the bubble and like constantly, and I'm just like laughing my ass off at it.
Dude, it's good. It's funny. It's now that we've seen it a bunch of times and like they do a different bit every time. It's kind of cool. But then we
Yeah,
get the preview. Uh Genba's being suspected of something. We got the new guy. They're telling him to calm down, but he's being made a special surveillance target, and it's like the like goodbye, Boon Boongers.
yeah, it's like so dramatic this time around. We're like, oh, what's gonna happen here? Oh man, but yeah, like honestly, I'm just super excited. Like it was actually kind of
I
awesome
mean,
because when I
it
went to
looks
Power
super
Morphicon this
sick.
weekend, there actually were people. There was actually like a couple Boon Boon cosplayers as well too. Actually,
Hell yeah, dude. That's super sick.
hmm yeah, and- yeah.
Also
For a recap
excited.
episode, it was cool.
3 bad guy mechs at the end.
Yup.
Oh
Oh man,
man.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what goes on with this next week.
Yeah.
They've been doing really like so pretty much like said friend really got into like Dawn Brothers and stuff like that, or like got in through Zenkaiger, and then like really really loved Dawn Bros.
Right.
So like it's like they really enjoyed just how like after the toy commercial, quote unquote, like it just gets bonkers in Boon Boonger. I love it so much. It's
No,
basically what I've been saying.
it's super cool. But yeah, then we have the arc episode this week, the full moon's answer.
Oh man, this was like one of those like episodes that's kind of like you could kind of just consider art.
Yeah, I really liked it. First of all, I'm just gonna talk about it just immediately. Man, every once in a while you hear, especially this happens more, on like European shows where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have a heat wave," and I look at how much that stuff is in Fahrenheit, and I'm like, "Bro, you are chilling." Especially because I'm from Texas, it gets hot here. But then they said, 48 Celsius, and I looked that up, and it was like 118, and I was like, "Yo, they're
Oh
dying."
yeah, but to defend the Europeans,
Yeah, they don't have AC.
humidity sucks.
No, humidity's terrible. I totally get it. It's just one of those things where like I just see the number and I'm like, bro, that's the number I keep my house at or my apartment at.
What's actually kind of funny is that I actually was chatting with Ryan Parrott, the writer of Rogue Sun, about New Orleans a bit, and like we were like joking around about how like here in California it's like it could be 90 dry and then we'd be like okay, but down there it's like it could be 75 humidity and like oh it's like
Oh
be
my god.
75 and humid. It's like oh no I don't want this at all.
The 70, dude, the humidity really does make everything feel so much hotter. It's so
Oh
terrible.
god, yeah, it's like because you can't sweat like it's like it basically feels like you are just like standing in stew.
Yeah, it's so
It
bad. And it was so
yeah,
cute
it feels
seeing
gross.
Ishiro be like iced coffee. This is perfect. And then everyone gets a little bit of coffee, and then before Ban's allowed to drink any of the phone rings.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
uh Yeah. But yeah, we do so like the big thing about this episode is like we have a new kaiju and it is kind of like what happened with the second kaiju where it basically was like you building up energy and was getting ready to blow up.
Which, to be fair, first of all, very fun suit.
Hmm.
Quadruped suits must be even harder to like get the guys in there and stuff.
Hmm.
So getting them ready, like it looks pretty good for everything it does, and like it's just a dog. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Like it just like wait, was it a dog? It looked more like a cat.
Oh,
Or at least in
I mean, to me, he looks like a dog, or she looks like a dog, but
mm. But she being the key word there
yeah, she being the
because
especially keyword. Yep.
yeah, because well, one of the things that happens is that we actually get a fight pretty early on with Ark, but he just gets like kicked
Blasted.
out immediately, and we basically find out that there are two souls essentially inside that kaiju,
Yep, it is the
and
kaiju and the spirit.
hmm
And then, in addition to having two souls, we then later find out from the scans, oh man, there's two heartbeats. I wonder what that
yeah,
could mean.
yeah, and well, the reason why I'm bringing up that she is because it's a pregnant kaiju.
And here's the thing. It's not just a pregnant kaiju. It is a pregnant kaiju that has to explode to give
Hmm.
birth. Uh,
Yeah, it is. Whew.
which is a vibe. Uh,
Mhm.
you know, uh, as far as things are concerned, uh, seeing the spirit lady that only Yuma can see, that was a cool
Mhm.
touch. It's interesting having someone actually communicate directly. Uh, it's also interesting being that like, oh, she said that people stopped being able to see her.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, so at some point, when people maybe were more in tune, they were able to see her, but now, no longer, and it's only Yuma who happens to be more in tune with stuff because probably of his connection with Ark.
Yeah, and oh man, it's like it's like they basically have like a heart to heart, like like a heart to heart talk, with the spirit, and they're like, yeah, like it's like it's like we need to explode so that my essence can be part of this baby. It's like like we always love to talk about with Ultraman. It's a there's like these kaiju are basically animals. They're part of the
The
world.
ecosystem and the world,
Yeah.
and like again in Blazer, one of the only reasons we survive and win is because the like Earth kaiju team up to help against the space kaiju because they see them as foreign invaders.
Hmm.
And you know again, part of the ecosystem, and she talks about, yeah, she needs to explode, so at least in the English dub they're like she needs to explode so that her energy can kickstart the life of the new child.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
which again,
And
very metal way to go. Like
yeah.
intense, and I do love her speaking with him where she's basically just like, is Ultraman's power just for fighting?
Exactly. And then and then we unlock the power of the moon, which basically is like seems to be a much more protective type of deal. Uh
Yeah, before we get into that, it was really cool. We start with the little flashback to him as a little kid, and then we get to see the
mm,
flashback again, and he gets to like take part of it as an adult.
mhm.
Very cute vibes. Again, love the drawings for the transformation. Like we could see like the kid drawing into the suit, and not only is it like defensive, it's like speed based.
Yeah, exactly. Like basically like puts up the shield, basically like basically makes kind of like a tornado. But during this transformation, I could not get something out of my head. You were
What?
listening to that music, right?
I mean, I heard it. Yeah.
So I've watched enough anime, or I've like heard enough like anime OSTs that I'm like, this song sounds familiar.
Who did it?
and and you know who it was?
Who was
It
it?
was Yuki. It was Yuki Hayashi. Yuki Hayashi has done another big anime series, and composing for it. A little series called My Hero Academia. The
That's
song
fair.
that plays when he transforms basically sounds like "You Say Run," which is like
Yeah. Okay.
the
Now that you're
power up
saying that,
song.
I definitely like. Okay. Okay. No, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
It
like,
was
oh
pretty. It
my
was a
god,
pretty hype song.
yeah. I'm like, I called it. It's like this sounds like "You Say Run." Look it up. Oh my god! Like I basically just searched up Ultraman art composer. Okay, Yuki Hayashi. Okay, Wikipedia has worked on anime such as My Hero. I knew it. I knew it.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Also, I just think it's really cool. So it's like the super speed. He can fly, and he
Mhm.
leaves behind after images, and they're solid after images because he's the giant of light. So even his after image is solid,
Yeah,
which
and
is
then he
really
basically
cool.
contains the explosion. Yeah,
Yeah, because
exactly,
because
and all
he
that
like
stuff.
he like does the tornado running around, but because he's leaving the after images that have physical weight, they basically block the explosion, which was really sick, honestly.
Yeah.
Again, they were talking about Arc is like the imagination season. It really is. That's so creative.
Hmm.
That's so cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Using your active image just to be a block thing, which is also really funny because I've been playing Final Fantasy 11 and Ninja has Utsusemi, which has like clones that basically make it an off tank essentially because enemies will break the clones versus attacking you.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, like it's so cool being able to like you said, it is the series about imagination.
yep. And the only thing that also, just before we get to go, the kaiju looked so fucking cool when it was about to explode.
Yeah,
The effects on
like
it looked so fucking sick. Uh
yeah,
Obviously that led into the really
whatever they did with the
cool.
suit, yeah, to
Yeah.
make like the energy like go up. It's like I thought it would just like kind of just stop with the body. No, it actually like made the head glow as well too, just under the skin.
Yep.
Like it was like,
It was some cool effects work. I'm not exactly sure how they did it, but I was really into it.
hmm
If there was one thing that I could have said that I would wish was different about this episode, I wish they would have shown us the baby. I know they probably
yeah,
didn't have time to make the baby suit, but like I want to see the baby. Uh,
yeah.
but obviously,
But what was
mhm.
what was great though is like that epilogue. They say it'll basically live and grow and have to do it again at some point, and like basically like just kind of just talking about like it's like these kaiju are just literally just living.
Yep, and this is its natural life cycle, and also he's talking about like we just need to leave this behind in the records so that people in the future know how to deal with it. That's our duty as for the next generation, and I'm like, that's super cool.
Yeah, like I really love how like yes, how Skip really is just like this research organization,
Yep.
and just like like say okay cool like it looks like Vesuvius and stuff like that. Like it's
No,
just all that's like all that like stuff just like bringing up history to like kind of explain these things scientifically. So it's
it's
actually like really fun.
it's really nice. It's really cool. Again, we're also slightly positioning Ishido in like a more like slightly adversarial role because they was like, "Do you think Ark let the child go?" And they're like, "Well, I don't know, but we can't let him handle everything." And I was just like, Ishido was just like, "Murder the child."
Yeah, exactly.
And I do love that it ends with like they've been up all night to do with this. The episode ends with them taking a nap. Very cute. Uh, oh man. preview for the next episode though. It's time. YouTubers get to be evil again.
Yup.
I was so ready for the fucking little coin alien. I've been wondering about him. He looks so funny, and I just, because he shows up and all the coins show up, I've been like, I really want to see what this guy's about. I'm so excited for next episode. The fact that he like eats currency and he eats like digital donations, and he's apparently like fucked up the economy. This is so funny.
Yeah.
And then fucking Ishiro and him have to become little VTubers. Or little like, I guess they're like you. They're 2.5D, dude. They got the human bodies, the little 2D heads. They have cat ears.
This is gonna be a funny episode for me to talk about next week.
Especially with the like, this is no time to get absorbed in streaming, Mr. Ishido. Also, the fucking fight with Ark in apparently the digital world, maybe?
Ooh.
Because like the thing doesn't look that big, but we get to see the fight, and like the doesn't look real, and he's holding like a weird coin sword, and I'm like, can Ark? I mean, he's light. Can he just go into? And he's holding what looks like a giant pill, so I wonder if that's like an antivirus program or something.
Imagination, let's go.
Anyway, that's gonna be crazy. We're gonna be super excited to talk about that later, but now we're about to make this show run late because last episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard.
Oh man.
Which, you know, my complaint was right. I was sad that they didn't put the extra forms in the opening last week because there was no opening this week.
Yeah. So unfortunately, because there really was no time to like, you know, get more of it, Clotho does have to die pretty much right at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, and again, this is going to be, if I had to say my flaws with Gotchard, are just there was a lot of really cool stuff, but we just ended up not spending enough time with some of the characters to really like flesh out those arcs, because Clotho just got nothing.
Yeah,
I feel kind of bad.
At the same time, it kind of is the sad thing, because like she was like the one that was like kind of rushing forward, like she kind of just wanted everything to stay the same, just wanted to have the family together.
No, and like
she just kept getting power and was like, it's like not only that, like as we talked about previous weeks, she had the power forced onto her multiple times too.
Yep. And I'm gonna be honest again, and this is why I'm like, the stuff we had here is good. I like her storyline of like, I was searching for power so I couldn't protect the thing that I wanted. But it's just that like she had like almost like she had one episode and a half, like half an episode with Hotaro, and so she's like the one who like dies in his arms, and it just like, it was just, we got here way too fast, you know, like we did not get to see a thing develop between them two like as a pair the way we got to see it. Like obviously Rene and Atropos got a lot of development and they were great, and then Lachesis the Spanner got a bit less, so it was not, you know, I get it, it's like it was a little rushed, and then Clotho and Hotaro got like nothing except for apparently the fact that apparently she's his girlfriend in the little alternate thing in the We Are Class 3G.
Look this up now.
Yeah, apparently in that one, not only is Clotho like the high school girl, like his girlfriend, but like Rene is like yandere Rene.
Oh my god, I need to see this now.
So yeah, I think we'll watch this soon and talk about it. But you know, we got to see Hotaro talk to his mom, who's basically like, I don't want you to go out there and get hurt, but I'm your mom, and I know that, you know, you have to do your best, blah, blah, blah. Again, I feel like we should have done something more with his dad. Like, I feel like the dad plot line was just kind of dropped.
It does feel like it was dropped, but at the same time, it kind of does feel like, you know, just like an endless chase, like, because, you know,
sure,
like
I just think we should have seen his face. I just, you know, again, I'm not asking for like a lot, but I think like, oh hey, like a little bit where at least we got to see him like do his dream like in the background or something, and like, oh, that's why you're just like him, because like just seeing that and being like the like blank face, I'm like, oh, it's fine. I will think it's really funny. I think I sent it to you, the one where they like just edited Ace's face in.
Yeah, dude, like seeing that go around. At the same time, I basically feel kind of like, you know, with Dawn Brothers with Kaito Black, and what will you do when you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like yeah, not everything needs to be explained. I mean, sure, it makes things a little
Not
messy, and
everything.
you have
I
like,
think here's the thing. I think this could have just been something cheeky. It didn't have to be something thing. One of the
mm,
biggest things I liked about Gundam Build Fighters is, I think it was for Try, where it's like, oh, Sakai has a master that we don't know about or whatever. We've just seen like an outline of him, like, you know, like the shadowy thing. And at the very end of the series, we go to the mountain where his fucking master's training, and it's fucking Domon from G Gundam. And it's like, this is where like that kind of shit, that would have been all you needed. If like they showed the image and it's like Takeshi Hong or something, I'd be like, you know what? That's totally fair. I get it. That's
yeah,
why he's not here.
that's fair. That's
You know
fair.
what I mean? Like this could have just been like a little cheeky, like, oh, it's Takeshi Hago, or even if it's a writer that I didn't recognize, and then later you would be like, oh, it was this guy, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool. Like I think that's like just that little bit of like, oh, okay, that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
Was all I was really looking for. The three transformations side by side was really cool. We got all, you know, the
Yeah,
three final forms.
but before that though, El Dorado versus versus Rainbow Gotchard transformation with El Dorado and oh my god, how am I blanking out? No,
El
a
Dorado.
Nijigon. Yeah, and Nijigon. Basically, like doing their breaths at each other.
Oh yeah,
Like
that looked super
that.
sick. The like mass produced, I do like that the mass produced like Dread Driver guys have like a different suit, like they just slightly colored it
Hmm.
differently, that way it like, hey look, this is not the main Dread guy. uh
Yeah,
I love that he made three more dolls out of the bodies of the kings.
yeah,
That's a
that
cool
was.
vibe and a good way to use the suits, because again, these suits are sick, they look awesome. uh
And then and then our senpai using the stop moving
Think to save people,
solution.
dude, that was a good callback. I'm glad that we
It
didn't spend a
was
fucking episode with them glued to the ground for nothing.
it was so funny too because I saw like a tweet on like I saw a tweet that was like saying I hope like it's like this glue thing is so annoying. This better be used to fight Gurion. And then it's like I take back everything. I forgive you, Gotchard at the end.
That's pretty good. I did also
Yeah.
like that Rin's dad showed up and fought next to her. Again,
Hmm.
Rin's dad was just kind of here.
Yeah, yeah. If there is one character that really like did not get much, it really was Fuga.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
Fuga, it was Clotho. There were like a couple. I fucking love that Kaijiki showed up to help fight.
Yes.
He just showed up with a big ass
Yes.
pole with like the like, because I think those are for like criminals and or sometimes for like big animals.
Yes. The
And
man catchers.
yeah, I'm like, Kaijiki, where did you get one of those?
Yeah, like when I saw Kajiki, I'm like, okay, so pretty much I was like joking around when I finished the episode. I said, "Man, this show's great," and then I basically scored it 8 out of 10. These were Kajiki.
Dude, yeah, fantastic. Uh I do just love that he got to, you know, show up and do his part, you know, again, just being a wacky little side guy. uh
Yeah, like
Man.
he's a part of it. It's like they saved my life. I want to help you guys out. You guys are my friends. Let's go. It's like I love it.
And then we got to see a really cool, you know, Valvarad finisher on Gigist. I do love the like, you've become a puppet, let me bring you to hell so that you don't, you know, you've fallen this far. Let me just take you out.
Yeah,
The father daughter combination kick, I feel like, I don't know, because it was mainly like a CG kick. It was like, okay, I mean, it was cute that they got to do a father daughter thing.
hmm.
I think her base kicks is better.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And I mean, and like the kick that we got with Twilight was just so damn good.
yeah, I
Yeah,
wish we got a, yeah. Oh
but
man,
man, the fact that this giant city of gold, all the gold on Earth, like it's like they lose technically.
not only did they lose, like Nijigon gets turned into gold, and then he has to bring out UFO X, the best X, and then
Yeah,
UFO X gets golden, and then he has to bring out like platinum. And I love that everyone is fucking. Okay. To be fair, I forgot he brought out the big mech form, which was also cool. To like,
yeah.
okay, this is when we see it again. Uh,
So remember what I said? It's like I kind of said something like this. Like saying, watch, they're gonna do the thing where they go backwards through the forums.
Yep. And my favorite bit about this though was like, I love that like all the ones that they didn't have props for, just turned into golden cards, but then like the Nijigon and the fucking Sabo needle prop actually got painted gold.
Yeah.
So it was funny seeing them fall. The same with the Platina, with the crosshopper and the 10 liner.
Yeah, that one made me sad. That
Dude,
one made me sad.
it
Like,
was so
no,
sad.
not,
I
no.
do love the like everyone talking about like him holding onto his neck and being like we're less like not as good as gold, and they're like, hey guys, platinum's actually worth more than gold actually.
Yeah.
uh but like they like jump in front to protect them and they get goldified, and oh, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
And then
It's
Hotaru gets
rough.
golden beamed.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like we lost. We
Not-
lost.
we lost. We got to see some really funny CG big boys.
Yeah. But Hotaro,
Hotaru just
sorry,
went like, fuck you, dude.
yeah, exactly. And not just like Renee and Spanner, he makes his own driver again.
Yep, he
He has his
makes
own
like
driver.
he makes like the base Gotchard driver update.
Yep,
I do always
yeah.
love seeing the like I'm gonna see everyone's memories before I like power up.
Mhm.
Also, I love the fact that he like powers up and just decks him, just like no suit or anything. Just Hotaru just punched this man in the face.
And not only that, takes all the gold, moves it off Earth, and makes a new Earth.
Which
like
fantastic. Oh god. First of all, I do love the red gotcha driver. Very cool.
Yes.
Good vibe. Again, the base suit being like the final upgrade, I thematically think it's cool. I know not everyone is into it. I'm gonna be honest. The base Gotchard suit is such a fucking good suit that I don't even care. And
it's like us talking about Boost Magnum like versus Geats 9 all the time. It's
and like Geats 9 is really good, but like just OG Boost Magnum is so clean. Yeah. Okay, it's so clean, and I feel the same way about Steam Hopper. Also, as far as things go, Steam Hopper does have the most stylish kick. Like some of the other ones have a little bit more flair, like the rainbow kick and stuff, but just the steam liner setup into the straight line kick from the transformation, so cool.
And like the pretty much like the slow-mo of like like just the flex of transforming into the kick again, and then just like speed up and slow down again just to show right after. It's like there's so much motion and impact that you feel.
It's so good.
Like,
it looks like
that
such a sick. Yeah, it's so sick. I also love having all the chemis in the background. He's gonna smelt them all down, and then Hotaru just fucking smacks the shit out of him. Everyone gets in like a combo attack as a chemi.
Yeah.
And then we get the final kick, and I do think there is something cool about on his death, like Girion seeing all the chemis and seeing them happy and being like, you've created something beautiful, and then he dies.
Yeah, especially because he like his idea of ideal of beauty was making everything gold.
Yep, and I do love we get the like kick, it's tied, and all the chemis come behind Hotaru.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they do the combined kick, and just you just see them all just power them up, and like it's such like thematically, like this really is just like Hotaro's story about him making friends with all the chemi. Like it's so good.
Also, I've seen people talk about it. It's so funny. I love that like we get a few months later and he's just like having a little phone call with Kaguya. After your gorgeous defeat of Girion, what happened next? I love that we're getting new alchemy students and the seniors are in charge of them. It's very cute. I love that they're like just kind of running ragged. I love that even after this, Spanner can't beat what's her name at chess.
Yeah, exactly. Just but like I think someone also said like kind of like oh yeah, what is Spanner doing? Oh yeah, he's not depressed anymore.
Yeah, he's like not actively trying to kill himself, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Renee basically studying to be an even greater alchemist because she's like, I have a friend I'm trying to see again. And it's like, oh, it's so cute. She's gonna try to like transmute her again and bring her back.
Yeah,
and especially because like her soul is within her, so like
exactly,
it's not like making a new copy. I also just love the vibe of people being like, chemis, Yeah, that's just fake, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like all the adults just treat it like an urban legend now.
It's like that's so funny. I'm wondering if like
Yeah.
the Yakuza guys are going crazy, like everyone treating it like an urban legend. I was like, bro, I turned into amalgam. I don't know what to tell you guys. That shit was real. Like, I wonder if they're like feeling so gaslit.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like that really is something. Like, big events can happen. And it's not, like people will just forget about it. Like, soon enough. Like,
Also, again, Kaguya just being in his little gem bath and like talking to the driver, and
yeah,
Hotaru being like, "Oops, sorry, I'm late. I gotta go do something." Very
yeah,
Hotaru vibe.
yeah, exactly. And he basically runs off, and they're like on the new Earth. They
Yeah,
go
and
to the new Earth, and that's the paradise that Hotaru dreamed of, where Kemi and like to see if we could like support life. That way, Kemi and humans can live there together as well.
I love seeing this girl who was like a daughter or something of one of the regulars when he run off, being like, there was something really cool about that guy. Like I could see it in his eyes, and it's like, yeah, she could see like the passion because he's living his dream. He's living his goal. His goal. Um,
Yeah.
Seeing the new Earth with all the chemis like actually flying around in the little CG forms is very cute. It's very nice seeing them all not just being 2D. Like a couple of them are in the background.
Mhm.
We're not here for a picnic and everything's cool. And then Kaijiki shows up because Hopper went to get him.
Yeah,
Which again
dude.
just keeps going to the thing with like, and Kaijiki is just here sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And like we fucking love it. We love it. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I just realized something.
Did you
It's
just
like it's like it's like I knew I had a feeling. I had a feeling when I looked at them, but the customers that were in the ending, that was back on and flow.
Oh, that's funny. That's cool.
Yeah,
They can
it was back
tell.
on flow, and I believe that the actual composer for the show as well too. So there's
Which
that.
again, dude, I'll talk about that in a second. Also, really funny to see in the background Minato pull up his arm like he's gonna mind wipe Kaijiki and him having to be
Yeah.
stopped.
The smile on his face when he does it, it's like
Yep.
it's like
Also,
just the running joke of it is so good.
very cute seeing Rene like a little flustered because she's like giving him his hand and they run off like holding hands together with everyone.
Yeah.
It's very cute. Very wholesome vibes. We get to see Hopper one at the end, and then we get to see Kaguya start the send off.
Yes.
I've come to bless you with this gorgeous little present. He gives him the Kuga Gotchi.
Yeah.
I can't
The
pronounce
fact that
what
we
they're
got a
called.
send off is so good. I love
The
this.
Gochiza. Yeah, it was really cool. And then I love that Kaguya, and then Gotcha shows up like, see, I told you you'd love it if you gave him that. And like, but I was the one who made it. It's like, come on, I was the one who said first impression. And then he turns into the Gav suit, and he's like, okay, no need to fight. Have a gummy. Be happy. He runs
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And then they
I'm
eat
so
the
excited for
gummies
Gav.
with the suit. They're like delicious.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I mean, I'm only saying. I mean, I may or may not be saying this because I did get to see Decade as well too this week, last weekend.
Oh man, it was a cool finish. I like the vibes. I can't wait to see some of the after stuff with the movies and whatnot. I really want to see Daybreak because I've heard Daybreak was really good.
Oh man.
In general, it was cute season. I enjoyed it way more. Like I have a little bit of complaints, but I enjoyed it a lot. It was still
Yeah.
really fun. And I will say, like I was going back to, you were talking to the composers. Gotchard did not miss with the music.
Oh yeah.
The Gotchard music was firing on tens the whole time. I still think nothing's gonna beat chemistry for me. Like it's such a fucking good song, and then we got a second version, and we got the second verse for later. Like,
Yeah,
oof.
with flow.
With
And then-
flow.
And then of course, I'm gonna say the joke again. Everybody gangsta hating on Gotchard until Kemi's story piano version starts playing.
Dude, and then everyone using fucking What's Your Fire was so good. Though
Yeah.
to be fair, I'm glad that for the last one we got the Rising Fighter.
Oh
That
yeah.
way, because we didn't use it as much, and so it got to really stand out because you hadn't heard it in a little bit. And Rising Fighter was also really good.
Yeah. It's so good. I'm in love with it.
It was a good season. Had great suits. All in all, like you were
Yeah.
saying, like an 8 out of 10. I'm also basically right around there. Like, maybe again a little 7.5 because there were a couple things
Yeah.
where it's like I liked what we were doing. We just didn't have enough time, or we didn't do it enough.
Yeah, for me in general, like what is it? I think like what I said was that it was a very easy watch. Like you didn't need to know every single thing for every single episode, especially even at the end, which may
Yep.
be to its detriment, but it was also a benefit that you could basically just hop into any episode and kind of just enjoy what's going on.
Yep. And again,
And yeah,
my biggest complaint is that the stuff I like they didn't do enough. Like
hmm
Renee didn't do enough. There was a part of me for a second was like, man, what if we get this last episode and Renee's just like, I'm out of power. I would have cried actually.
no,
I would have just been like,
but
okay, actually, Gotchard's only like a 6 out of 10 because that would have. But like, obviously, they weren't gonna do that. But like, it happened so much that I was like, what if they did?
but what's really funny though is that like we say this, but I think the thing that we did like the most, Kajiki, is like we both agree that if they showed him more than what they gave us, it might have ruined it.
Yeah, because they kept it. I think that was done really well as like a background gag / thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if anything, the only way I think that we should have seen more Kaijiki was if we see him in the background, but almost like never acknowledge him. Like you would just like the episode would be happening, and you would just see him running by in like a weird costume or something.
Mhm.
But like, no, I think we got like the right amount of Kaijiki. Like, obviously, I want more because he's fantastic. But like, I think he was done really well. The only thing though is that like, man, we did make that other new man-made Kemi the fucking turtle cannon, and we just forgot about him. He did not get to be there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it felt like he was getting more important, like because he was the first one not made in a while. But again, in general, super cool. I'm gonna start wrapping things up because we have gone over at least 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
And look,
but
it's a finale. We knew it was gonna go a little bit long.
that's why I
Generally,
put it last. And
Yep.
then we have Gab next week.
and we have We're gonna have a premiere. I need to start working on the new thumbnails. But with that, as always, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys being here for other ranting. And we'll see you next week. Later.
Later.
This program is brought to you by
Our unending love of tokusatsu. And if you enjoyed the show, be sure to like it.
and to leave a review since that really helps us out.
And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
You can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.